Hey, all you cinema buffs out there. Happy New Year
Happy
to
New
you.
Year.
Hope you enjoyed 2017. Looking forward to all the crop of movies we got coming out in 2018. This is our big end of the year wrap up special. We're talking about our favorite movies, least favorite, what disappointed us, what surprised us.
Yeah.
Now, 2017 was a pretty good year for movies.
It was a great year for movies.
Yeah, it put together this top 10 list. There was a lot of movies that broke my heart to leave out, but
it was a tough one. It was
yeah,
tough,
but
yeah.
hey, we're the winners because we got all these great movies this past year. So, Nate, out of all these movies, which ones surprised you the most? Which one did you have like low, medium expectations? You walked out really enjoying the movie.
Well, one of the more recent ones actually was Jumanji.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Jungle. I went in there just being like, let's do this. And I walked out of there like really excited about what I saw, and I just thought it was a really fun family film. What about you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed Jumanji. A friend of ours just went and saw it the other day, and he saw our review, and he's like, was it really that good? I'm like, go check it out.
Yeah.
And then he walked away, he's like, wow, it was that good.
It was.
I gotta say, my biggest surprise was probably Blade Runner 2049. Just
okay.
for the, I mean, I wasn't surprised that Denis Villeneuve made a great sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Just did last year with Arrival.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this sequel's 35 years afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all these decades plus sequels. Not a lot of them really pan out.
No.
And very rarely do they surpass the original. But
Which I think it did. I
with
like
Blade
it.
Runner 2049, it totally surpasses the original. It helps build to it. And I was just blown away by how beautiful and how great that movie was.
Yeah, it's funny that both of our big surprises were, decades old sequels.
Yeah.
So,
Who would have thought?
yeah, they're doing something right.
But let's go into the flip side of that. What movie did you have high hopes for but let you down? What was your big disappointment of 17?
Kingsman, Golden Circle. Man, it's not that this was an awful movie, because it wasn't. It was okay. It just, it rubbed me the wrong way. The whole thing just was poorly executed, I think. I think it lost the flair and the originality of the first one.
Yeah, it is kind of like a watered down version of the original,
Yeah.
I think. I didn't dislike it as much as you did.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it a little bit more, but I would say that is one of the more disappointing movies, just
Yeah.
given how great the first one is.
Exactly, yeah. The bar was set so high for it.
Yeah.
But what about you? What's the biggest disappointment? What were you just let down by?
Easily Alien Covenant.
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoyed Prometheus. I like that it was set in the Alien universe, but it wasn't exactly an Alien movie.
Yeah.
But that's the problem that people had with Prometheus, and I feel like Alien Covenant was a reaction
Yeah.
to it. Like, Ridley Scott's like, all right, half of this is more Prometheus-like. I want it to be more exploration, philosophical, kind of explaining the why and the what of our universe.
Yeah.
And then the other half's just like straight by the numbers alien movies. Xenomorph stalking people, Xenomorph in broad daylight, which is like seeing Batman in broad daylight. It's kind of weird and off-putting.
I mean, Prometheus, I forgave it because it didn't call itself Alien. I mean, it was set in the world, but it wasn't like, hey, audiences, this is an alien movie. This one really set us up to be an alien movie, and then it just kind of wasn't that much. They shouldn't have put the alien name in front of it.
No, it was inconsistent. So
Yeah, I agree
think
with that, yeah.
I had a lot of high hopes. Ridley Scott, especially after Prometheus, but it was just a letdown.
There was like one or two moments I liked in that movie.
That's it.
Buffs. All right, so before we get to the good, let's start with the bad. Let's go with our 3 worst movies we saw this year, and I'm going to let you kick this one off here. I'm curious.
Well, my third worst movie was going to be The Mummy, but I'm kind of thankful for The Mummy because they canceled the Dark Universe, and I think it sends a message to the studios like, don't hedge your bets on these shared universes. Focus on making a good movie to launch the shared universe, then go from there instead of just like pre-assemble everything and just like, oh, it's Tom Cruise, it's Universal Monsters, it sells itself.
No,
It did not. So I was going to put The Mummy in there, but I'm grateful for the effect of The Mummy. But my number 3 has to be Mother. This isn't the third worst, like, technically made movie. There's a lot about this movie I respect. But just like with The Mummy, I think the fallout puts it on my list, where it's like, if you walked out of Mother not liking it, and you tell that to someone who did, their first response is, oh, because you didn't get it.
Yeah.
You just don't understand what Aronofsky was trying to do. No, I totally understand all the biblical metaphors, all the metaphors about Mother Nature and everything like that. I totally get it. I just don't like it. It was just like a overload of the senses, the second half of that movie. You haven't seen it yet.
I still haven't seen it.
I know.
I'm so curious. There's been yeah, you hated it. It's in your top 3, but this is probably one movie that you've talked about the most this
That's
year.
true. I do. So once again,
I'm curious.
Yeah, there are things I respect about it. I respect that the debate that it creates, but just the fallout of that movie puts it number 3. At number 2, kind of in the same vein of The Mummy, where it's just like you can't push the same crap out and everybody's gonna go buy it. And that's Transformers 5. Age of the Last Night, whatever the hell it was called, just terrible. I really hope they don't make any more of these movies. I hope that was the final lesson where it's like, yeah, people aren't just going to keep showing up.
Yeah.
But my number one movie was my worst movie of the first half of 2017. It's still the worst movie of 2017 in my opinion. That's Rings. Talk about a movie that didn't need to exist.
Yeah.
That one just awful.
Yeah, that was also just a cash grab. Like,
Oh,
maybe?
for sure.
Let's just put that in. Maybe they'll buy it. I don't know.
Generic story, put the Rings brand on it.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
But let's go to you now. What are your bottom three? We have completely different bottom three. I was very surprised.
Yeah. My bottom three are actually all movies you didn't have to see.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad. There were some single
movies.
reviews this year, and I lucked out on most of them.
Yeah, and at number 3 was I lost last year's bet. Last year's Oscars bet. So that made me go see Snatched. And this was the most tasteless piece of garbage I've seen in so long. It's not Amy Schumer, it's just the whole thing. It was just a really, really bad, offensive movie. So yeah, I sat through it. Thanks for that. At number 2, Resident Evil, the final chapter, going back to those world building, too many sequels, just people for some reason keep going to see these. And I had a guest reviewer for this one, and it was just hands down so bad. And this is what I'm talking about, where you said Mother was like technically executed. This was not. This is
right.
There's
nothing to like about that movie.
Absolutely nothing to like about this movie. Very, very bad. And at number 1, The Snowman. I hated this movie so much. And the problem is that it should have been good. It had all the people behind it to be good. And it was just such a flat out failure of a movie that I haven't yawned or checked my watch more in any movie that I've ever seen. Awful movie.
Buffs. Now, before we get into our top 10, we can't leave out 2018. There's a lot of movies coming out. Some we're looking forward to. Some we're hoping to avoid. But Nate, of the movies that we know that are coming out in 2018, which one are you looking forward to the most?
This was an easy choice for me. The new trailer just came out a couple weeks ago, and that's Ready Player One. I read this book. I love this book. This movie is going to be pure nostalgia with Steven Spielberg directing, and I'm very, very excited about this movie. I can't really think of a movie that I'm more excited about. Yeah, I'm excited about The Avengers, and I don't know, Black Panther looks cool too, but nothing like Ready Player One.
Deadpool 2, that's up there.
Deadpool 2, yeah, but no, Ready Player One, so excited about it. What about you?
Yeah, that was my number 2 most anticipated movie of 2018. I'm really looking forward to that. Once again, I read the book, loved it. I'm so glad that Spielberg's behind the camera for it. The only one I'm looking forward to it, and probably because it might become a rare commodity, and that's New Mutants.
Oh, yeah.
With the Disney-Fox merger, I know it's not finalized and won't be finalized for a while. I get the feeling that once Disney owns the X-Men, they're going to Disneyfy them, and we're not going to get these rated R subgenre mutant movies that we're going to apparently get with Fox while they still have the rights to X-Men. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it just as something new, and it might be gone before we know it.
I agree. It looks fascinating, too. That movie just looks different.
Yeah. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
And I think I'll speak for both of us when we say the movie that we know we're going to have to review in 2018.
Yeah.
But we don't want to see it, and that's Solo, a Star Wars story,
just
Han Solo movie. I'm not into it. I was down for it when Lord and Miller were still the directors. I'm like, cool, it's going to be a comedy. It's going to be a comedy in the Star Wars universe, not exactly just another Star Wars movie. Yeah. And I feel once they fired him and brought on Ron Howard, it's just going to be another Star Wars movie.
I think it's going to be another, a kid's movie. It just looks very, kid-oriented, very family-friendly type of comedy. It's not going to be that, gritty. I want it to be like a Western, but I don't think it's going to be like that anymore.
No, and it's just one of those things where, name that movie where you have this iconic character who's kind of got some, mystery to him, and then you explain their origin and their backstory, and they become better. No, it always worsens the character, kind of dilutes them when you go back and explore their mysterious past and origin story. And I still don't want that to happen. Yeah, Solo.
And when you take away their, their sidekicks, their charisma, with Luke and Leia and Chewie and all of them, that matters that he has those by his side. Instead of all these
people to play off of. Yeah. So
not looking forward to it, but we'll see it.
Well, who knows? Might surprise us. Probably disappoint us.